Are you ready? I'm WesCoeur. I'm a musician, a songwriter, a DJ, and yeah, I make music.
I'm Xhanel. I'm an artist. I'm in a group called AstroBoy, and yeah, we really do this rap shit out here.
Name is Brandon the Guzman, or Don the J. I'm an artist, DJ, sometimes a model, take pics here and there.
My name is ParanoidDrops. I'm a producer and an artist from Melbourne, and I make music.
I'm Astro. I'm an artist and a graphic designer, part of WesCoeur.
My name is AMG. I produce, do videography, photography. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a designer, creative consultant, creative director. Yeah, that's really it.
I feel like Melbourne is probably, out of every single state in Australia, is probably the melting pot of creative stuff in general. I feel like it takes one person to kind of blow up the whole place. So I think we're just in a moment right now where we're waiting for just that one person. And I think we have a group of people who are likely to do that. And I think it takes one person for the floodgates to open. But yeah, I think everyone creating is a good thing. I think we're oversaturated at this point with the same type of music and the same type of stuff that's happening. But I think that's soon to change.
Yeah, like no one's better than each other. Like everyone has their own visions. It's just we need to respect it. Like I get we have like an opinion, but we just need to we can give each other constructive criticism how we can do it like better in sort of way. We just try to adapt the other culture of like just say America and UK. I reckon we need to hop in our own wave type of shit. And then that's how we get known, because if we just choose to ride what they be doing, it'd be like, oh, it's just they're just trying to copy us. But it's a good stepping stone to get our ways to in the industry and then wake our way up. And then once we make it, we can separate ourselves, and then we that's how we get known. That's how I feel.
It's growing. There's lots happening. Different vibes. A whole bunch of different shit creatively. I feel like yeah, they're catching up to what's prominent and prolific in other parts of the world. And yeah,
For sure. I mean, I've just been making cover art and stuff like that for a while now. Doing it for the bros and shit like that, but also some other people too. Yeah, it's good seeing a big rise in the kind of underground shit in Melbourne for sure. Australia too. Yeah, it's catching up to what other places are doing, States and shit like that for sure, but still needs a bit of growth.
I respect anyone that does the music stuff, especially this rap stuff, out here in Melbourne, because I feel like it's so far away from where that sound is originated, and I feel like where most people consume it, it's over in the States or in the UK compared to Australia. So I respect anyone that does it out here, and I think it's really cool that they do it. But I think, yeah, there's a long way to go for us to get to a level where I think the musicians and the artists start to gain anything from the art.
You can definitely tell when someone is really actually artistic, or someone is putting up front, and someone who knows what they're doing, or they just want to do it because it's cool, or it's in the moment. Making music right now might be just cool to someone. They might not even know what a compressor is. There's people out there who don't know what a compressor is, and an EQ, reverb and stuff. They know what a reverb is, but they don't know what it is.
Creative scene in Australia is cool, whereas the creative scene in Melbourne is becoming a little bit more experimental. from what I've seen. It's got a lot of kids starting to gravitate towards the underground, like over in the States or whatever. Or kids tapping into like brands like Cortez and stuff like that. Yeah, I feel like we're just progressing slowly, but as a whole, yeah, that's really it.
Yeah. Fashion? Yeah, I think Melbourne best dressed in Australia. Yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere else.
Why?
Because they throw it on better here. Like what other countries are more established?
Yeah, like why do you think we're not as?
We're like on an island really far away from everywhere else, and I feel like our population is so small compared to like everywhere else. I feel like everyone out here is kind of like on their ones, or like alone doing it. I feel like everywhere else, everyone's like together and everyone's able to collaborate a lot. I feel like we need to do that more. Yeah.
Like maybe like a new music genre, new sound, because like we'd be taking inspiration from like America, UK, and then like even like the Asian countries now, because like Australia's got a big Asian population. That's what I feel, and it's going to continue to grow.
But I think there's a lot that people need to learn, and I think it's not about being original. It's more about taking inspiration rather than copy. It's a thin line, I get it, but there's taking inspiration and there's copying. There's people out there copying, literally, straight up, copying bars, copying flows, copying style. That's the exact same reason we're not known, because there's a thin line between copying and inspiration. Right now we're copying. Melbourne takes stuff from, just say, Japan, or just say New York, and they'd be like, oh, that's cool, let's do that. Rather than, oh, that's cool, let's do something similar, try to make it our own. And I'm not saying that I'm out here like preaching the, let's be original, let's do this. Like, everyone takes inspiration. It's just like, to what extent you take it to. Nothing, like, I feel like a lot have been done. Being original is hard. Just be you.
Established? No, I think we still need a little bit more time. I think after COVID, a lot of people tried to be on some stuff and try to make some creative stuff because they had the time to do so, and they were bored at home. I think that's a big thing. But I think the people who were doing it even beforehand, that's the people who are going to lead the way. So I think like with time, people are going to learn how to do shit, and people are going to learn how to be better. But that might take a few years, I think. Because everyone's doing, like, it's super saturated now. But I think once people get the hang of things and more stuff keeps popping up, yeah, something's bound to happen.
To some certain degree, like we gotta like jump in first, because if we don't jump in first, like how else we supposed to like create our own like image of ourselves?
I guess kind of like, I don't even know how to like explain it really. It's just like, where like,
I like what they're doing in Cleveland,
yeah,
in the under.
yeah, in the Undercity,
Yeah, they got good shit going on there.
yeah.
I don't know what they're supposed to do.
Run it up. Yeah, it's just like somewhere in Cleveland called like Undercity, and you know, we
Yeah.
so underboys, so that's
Yeah,
some real shit.
yeah.
People don't know what they're doing. A lot of them, like they know how to get in front of a mic and rap, but I don't think that's really appreciable, if that's a word. Like, you can't really appreciate someone getting in front of the mic and rap and not knowing what's actually going on. Because I at this stage in time, like I talk to my friends about it all the time. Like, anyone can do that. Anyone can get in front of a mic and just rap and put some autotune, some cool effects, and make it sound cool. But do you actually know what you're doing? That's the question. There's a lot of people who don't know what a compressor is, I swear to God.
I was actually speaking to a friend about this. One of the musical groups that I have a lot of faith in is So On The Boys. They're doing something that maybe you could say a lot of other people are doing, but they're doing it just a little bit different, whereas they're consistent with their work. They're willing to try new things. They're willing to expand their work, expand who they work with as well. Whereas a lot of other people in Melbourne are just kind of like, oh, I want to do everything myself. Another example is someone called ParanoidDrops. I fuck with their music a lot and just how they are creatively, because just like the So Wonder Boys, they're pushing boundaries with how the world perceives Australia or just Melbourne in general. You could come down and watch how they perform or watch how they move in public, and you could tell that like it's not like everybody else that's around here. If you're looking at it from a fashion standpoint, you've got like brands like Addiction Program, you've got models like Brandon the Guzman, a lot of people who are, you know, with the same agenda of just pushing things forward and trying to break boundaries and kind of just help put not only Melbourne but Australia on the map. And I feel like it is a big responsibility, but somebody's got to do it.
One of the biggest thing that we lack in Melbourne, in music scene, any scene, like fashion, music, I don't know, appreciation. We lack appreciation. No one appreciates anyone. It's cool being unappreciative, like, which is not cool, you know? Like, if I see something cool, I'm gonna tell you that it's cool. Like, I won't be like, oh, that's cool, like, you know? But people don't appreciate people and other things, and they just try to be cool when there's nothing to be cool about because you're broke. You still have no money, you still have no clout. Your music is kind of mid. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what a compressor is.
Do you know what you're doing?
I wouldn't say exactly, but if I had to put it down on a paper, I could fill half of the paper up. But there's people out there who don't know what a compressor is. Appreciate, that's all.
Appreciate yourself, others.
Everything.
In Melbourne? They're cool. Like, yeah, it's crazy that the scene that we're all a part of happening out here. I feel like all this rap shit prominently happening up in other places, so it's cool as fuck that it's happening out here.
Yeah, no, it's good because it's like eventually like more people will be like catching on to it too, because it's like, you know, if there are all these events all the time, like it's gonna get the name out there and shit like that. So it's really good for Melbourne for sure.
Yeah.
The US?
I don't know, because like when you think about back in the day, like in the 60s and the 80s and stuff, like there were like a bunch of UK people already popping up. Like the biggest artists in the world are from the UK. Like you can name like the Beatles. They're from the UK. They started all of this shit basically. I think they got a few decades on us. So we got to start catching up, I think.
I feel like it's pretty stagnant. There's a lot of like drama that happens like between each other's back and shit. And like we need to stop that. We need to just like,
It's toxic.
yeah, it's very toxic. Like we just need to build up all together type shit. It's very different because like they also influence like how they were like raised and then like influence it into like fashion, music. It's like a culture change between if you come from like a Western side of the world and then you just say go to like South Korea or Japan, they be like on their like in their own wave in a sense. Like they obviously have like K-pop, J-pop, whereas the Western world they probably have like more rock and like pop and then like rap. But not that I'm saying like South Koreans and Japanese people can do rap because they be taking that way, and then that scene growing, and then it's just like coming to a whole thing, which is like, I'd love to see. The whole creative scene needs to come together. So that's why once we start having our own wave, that's how we get noticed, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them. It's like that. Yeah, when they come out here, they probably think it's all the same shit. I mean, I wouldn't know like what their opinion on Australia is. Like, I don't know what they're being told about this place. Yeah, I can believe that.
They always say Melbourne is the most poppin' though, every time.
Yeah, that's true. There's a reason for that. What do you guys?
start being more open-minded, quit with the stubbornness, let the new kids be them, because you were in a position where adults were telling you that what you were doing was not cool or it wasn't going to work out. So whatever you see the new kids bringing on or bringing into the light, kind of be more accepting of it, because you never know where that could be in the next few years. That could be the next big thing. So always have trust and always have faith in what's next. Find something about yourself that's cool and push it towards the world. Make Melbourne or Australia as influential as Europe, USA, or Asia. Stop biting other people's swag. It's time to make our own for real. Put the world on to us. Show the world what we're about. Just quit biting for real. It's not cool. Be yourself. Yeah.